you're watching the news on Headlines Now. Well, it's not only your packet of chips or a bottle of soft drinks that is priced much more than the maximum retail price. Even a pint of beer costs more at the government-run liquor shops. And our reporter Lokpriya does a reality check and says MRP violations abound in the state-run TASMAC outlets.
Well, no guesses here. Obviously, this TASMAC outlet in Pondi Bazaar is hugely popular. The only hitch? The price. A 70 rupee bottle is sold for 75 rupees. And if you are a first-time visitor, the markup is much more. And it's not just beer. Almost every other drink costs at least 2 to 5 rupees more. When we tried to find out why at this Egmo outlet, we were met with angry outbursts. Like the film Vark water cutting, when closing time is upon them and people get desperate, prices and not spirits soar. Meanwhile, TASMAC staff justify the fluid price mechanism. The question is simple. Why should one pay more? Officials of TASMAC refuse to comment, but activists call for greater transparency and proactive approach.
Consumers should prefer a complaint. They should come forward and they should not just allow these people to continue with these unfair practices. There should be some nexus between the authorities and these shop owners for them to run the show even on public holidays and like after 10 p.m. and all.
Selling more than the maximum retail price seems to be a rule and not an exception in these TASMAC outlets. There seems to be no accountability or even monitoring of these outlets that earns the government an excess revenue of 10,000 crore rupees annually. The big question looming large is, will the authorities take stringent measure to curb this menace? In Chennai with camera person Madan, Lokpriya, Ndtv-Hindu.
Well, another highly educated youngster now figures in the crime list in this city. The police today arrested a 25-year-old man named Rajesh Das, who had called the Chief Minister's special cell claiming he had planted 3 bombs in different parts of the city. The call proved to be a hoax and the police tracked down Rajesh after they traced his telephone call. Rajesh is an MBA student without any previous criminal records and police are conducting further investigations on this case now. On to some national news now. Well, there has been a breakthrough in the murder of Bangalore techie Payal Sulekha. Police have arrested Chaudhry James Kumar Roy, the former friend of Payal's husband, from Vijayawada. James is the man who worked in the gym of Payal's husband, and police say it's a case of personal enmity as Payal's husband had fired him from his job. James also reportedly owed Payal some money, and the police had suspected that the killer knew Sulekha since there were no signs of the door being broken open or anything missing from her flat. The 29-year-old employee of an IT company was discovered dead by her landlord in Bangalore's JP Nagar on Friday last week. The accused has been sent to the police custody till the 5th of January. Well, there is no let-up in the protest by Gujars in Rajasthan who are demanding 5% reservation in jobs and educational institutions. In fact, the protests have intensified at many places with thousands of Gujars blocking the Jaipur-Delhi railway track. 42 trains have been diverted and more than a dozen trains have been cancelled and hundreds of passengers are stranded in Rajasthan. Fares have shot up as well and the Gehlot government has invited the Gujars for talks, but they have refused to back down on their quota demand. And the last rites for former Chief Minister and senior Congress leader K. Karunakaran were performed today. Mr. Karunakaran died on Thursday after suffering a stroke. He was 93 years old and he was in hospital for 2 weeks before that. The Prime Minister paid his respects for the late leader today. Mr. Karunakaran also served as the Kerala Home Minister and a Union Minister of Industries, and his death also affects one aspect of current politics. His petition in the Supreme Court had put on hold the Palmolian case in which the Chief Vigilance Commissioner P.J. Thomas is an accused, and now the Supreme Court may lift that stay and the trial may proceed. Well, one thing that has become a headache for families across the country are the skyrocketing vegetable prices. While the price of onion has dropped by a couple of rupees, trends in the local markets in the north suggest that tomatoes have become more expensive. But here is an irony. In Ranchi, in an unusual show of anger, farmers are actually letting their tomatoes rot to protest low prices for their produce.
Price rise, especially of essential items like onions and tomatoes. These visuals seem almost criminal. At the Rangamati vegetable market in Jharkhand's Ranchi district, agitated farmers are letting their tomatoes rot instead of selling their produce to traders. This at the time when the market price of tomatoes is as high as Rs 25 to 30 per kilogram in the region. Produce from this market goes to the states of Bihar, Jharkhand, Orissa and Chhattisgarh.
टमाटर खरीदने वाला जो व्यापारी आते हैं ना दूर दराज से मतलब बहुत कम आते हैं और बात रहा कि टमाटर ज़्यादा निकलता है और कम रेट होने के कारण हमारे टमाटर को फेंका जाता है क्या करेंगे व्यापारी ले लेता है तो फेंक देते हैं क्या करेंगे
Fed up of what they say are unfair bargains by traders, farmers say they would rather let their tomatoes rot than sell them at a grossly unfair price. It costs a farmer in this area about Rs 5 to produce a kilo of tomatoes. His expectation from the trader is Rs 8 per kg. But traders in the area are offering just Rs 4 per kg to the farmers. Many may question the timing of the farmers' protest, but perhaps no one can deny the unfair treatment being handed out to them by traders in the area. Not one trader was willing to speak to us on camera, especially after we found out that the same traders sell a kg of tomatoes at wholesale markets for as high as Rs 20 per kilogram. And with no government intervention to solve this standoff, it seems these tomatoes will continue to rot away. With Haribansh Sharma in Ranchi, in Patna, Alok Pandey, NDTV.
Well, Christmas is painting the town red and green. We'll bring you all the celebrations that are up in just a moment.